All
Yes.
right. Hey everyone, good afternoon. How are you doing? I am very happy to be here for another chat or discussion or live, whatever you want to call it. My name is Princess and welcome back or welcome to the DLBC Singles channel, group, page, or whatever you want to call it. We are bringing to you a very interesting topic that I think is going to be thought provoking. And I want to expect that lots of people will have something to say about this because it's mind boggling. But before I go ahead, I want to welcome all those who are discovering us for the first time. We are a Christian channel and we talk about relationship from the Christian perspective. So get your tea, get your popcorn, and just be comfortable because we're going to dive into this conversation and it's going to be difficult for you to get off from where you're sitting. So just get ready for this talk. We're talking about why do young men find it difficult to get married. I have Mr. David here with us, connecting live. And as many as would want to jump in and share their thought on this topic, please do well to share your point of view on this topic. We want everyone to chime in and tell us what you think about it. Why do you think that in this day and age, young men are finding it difficult to get married? I thought in those days it was just easy. A man meets girl, talks to girl, girl accepts, girl tells her parents, and girl prepares with her parents to receive man's family for the marriage process to start. Of course, there's a time of knowing each other. In a Christian perspective, a man sees a girl or notices a girl or has known a girl and prays about it. Of course, he has been praying. And then he tells his pastor about it, share with his spiritual leader, and spiritual leader will guide them through the process up to when they get to see their parents. Of course, there's going to be a time of courtship and getting to know each other. Some people call it dating because we are Christians. So dating for us is without, just talking, getting to know each other. It's not, there's no sex involved. Okay. Okay. Let's lay that on the table. That's just you getting to know this person because you are dating, you are courting, you don't know if you're going to get married. So why do you want to start messing around? So just get to know each other and decide if this is the person for you. But we've noticed now there's lots of successful men, lots of very eligible bachelors that are not taking the step, that are surrounded by women all over them like flies or ants around sugar, but they're not ready to engage one of the aunts, one of the attraction, one of the ladies around them. Lots of ladies, you see, lots of ladies today, and they're like, nobody's coming, nobody's coming. I'm wondering, is it because there are a lot more women than men? No, I don't think so, because I see a lot of men who are still not married and they're eligible. They have what it takes to get married, but they're not ready to get married. What's the cause? Why? Why? Why, Mr. David? Why is it that young men struggle to get married? I have my own thoughts. Of course, I talked with someone and she shared a very interesting story with me, which I would like to share with you guys as we go on into this topic. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Mr. David, what do you think? Why is it that young men struggle to marry these days?
All right, guys. Welcome to another session. And I believe that today's conversation is quite real. And I think it's something that we need to really talk about a bit more in church because, like, it is becoming a thing. Like, most young people are really finding it difficult to marry because, uh, well, there are many reasons, right? But if I'm to talk from the point of view of men, especially, like, things have changed. Times have changed. Dating in the world is changed. Dating in church also has changed because, like, as much as we are Christians, we also know things that are happening, right? So, um, I think a lot of times when it comes to relationship, it's not like the Bible times where you know that if you're getting married to this sister, she is very going to be committed to the marriage, right? But now we have like different things that happen in the world that's encouraging women to like to not stay committed to their marriage. I mean, so those are one of the things that can be like a discouragement for men, I would say, because I mean, you get married, for example, if you get married to this nice, lovely sister at the beginning, she's kind of nice. She's all uh, Christianly, and she's all like um, very godly and everything. But friends and life can get into people's heads sometimes, and because of little conflict, uh, they tend to remember that okay, according to the law, if I divorce, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. I mean, like, come on. And just because like most young people are brainwashed a certain way, men included, women included, um, men are very um, lazy in the sense that they're not really doing their part as partners. Women also are also like always looking at the door, even though they're in the marriage, right? They're always looking at, okay, if I see any malfunction here, I'm out of the door. They're not looking for um, conflict resolution is no longer a thing, right? Like, people are just like, okay, it doesn't work, I'm out. It doesn't work, I'm out. Nobody's trying to see how can we make it work these days because obviously there are horrible stories of, oh, my mom was in this crazy uh, relationship with my abusive father, for example, and maybe some of them didn't even grow up with a father, right? And they just feel like they're so independent enough, and marriage has become like something that is a milestone for some people. Okay, I'm married. Okay, I'm married. Okay, I'm done. So what? So next thing is probably I need to check out, right? So I'm just saying, men are looking at all those things and thinking, am I sure that this sister will not flip on me someday? Like she's gonna be like, oh, you don't treat me like Kenneth is treating his wife, right? So is it that I'm not that great, or I'm not deserving of that kind of treatment? You know, I want soft life. You know, but the problem is most people don't know how to define what soft life means for them, right? Men, like especially in developed world where um, marriages or women have more laws that kind of like um, supports whatever they do, right? And for that reason, men are kind of like getting scared. Like this sister, yeah, she's a Christian, right? But still, can I trust her enough to
Mm,
say 10 years down the line she'll not flip on me? So
mm,
that in itself can be very um, can be one of the reasons why a lot of young men are really contemplating marriage. And this is some people might think that okay, what are you talking about? This is maybe you're just talking about this is just a few guys that are thinking that way. Trust me, even people in the world think that way, right? So
Mhm.
I speak to a lot of single men, even divorced men. Like they're like, "Oh boy, today my wife was nice. 10 years down the line, she started telling me, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that, because our friend over there is telling our stories about um, our marriage, right? So
Mhm.
men are really, really looking at it. And if you think about it, remember when you're looking at marriage from the point of view of a community where the laws says that, I'm just trying to be practical here,
Mhm.
right? Says that if if for any reason you divorce, right, you you would have to like leave everything to your wife and everything, right? So if you're looking at that, I mean, what's the incentive for a guy to get married now? Like, you know, I know that marriage is a good thing. The Bible says marriage is a great thing, but like, can we trust our sisters these days enough? And that is very difficult because they give you signs. Like, when you talk to the sisters these days, they'll be telling you, "Oh, you know what? I'm not taking nonsense." Right? Come on. Yes, we know you're not taking nonsense, but just the fact that you are even like very um, strong about it, like you are very the way even they say it just makes you feel like, man, this person might flip on you someday. So yeah, that's just one of it, right?
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. I think, well, coming from a man, that makes it very, very real. Because I want to believe that that's some of your voice talks, some of the
Yeah.
things that you guys talk about. But when talking to lots of men, because I'm not a man, but I'm just going to share my own observation. One of the things that I notice is that some Christian men or brothers have this very high expectation. Like they have a certain standard that they've set up for their own life, like the a kind of way that they are living their own lives. And they are used to that certain kind of living, especially when you have lived for so long. You've lived until when you're almost 40. 40 years. It's difficult to change a man that is 40 because he has set up his own standard of living. He has built his own systems that makes his life function up until 40 years old. And so because they have this standard or these ways, these lifestyles, they want to maintain it. Okay? They want to stay there. They want a woman that, who may, match their standard of living or will complement it. Okay, so they don't want a woman that will not meet up with their values, especially for Christian men. I've talked with lots of Christian men, and some of the most eligible ones that I know, they all keep talking about their own Christian values, and they believe that many ladies are not um, don't meet up to those values. Maybe they are less than what they expect, or they are not living, their values does not align with theirs. The ladies' values does not align with the men's values. So those Christian men find it difficult to, you know, agree to marry those ladies. Some men can compromise, but some Christian men, some certain kind of Christian men, don't want to compromise on some of those standards because for them, their values go together hand in hand with their goal in life and their purpose. So they feel that if the woman cannot meet up with that, then uh, or they start looking for a certain kind of woman, and it kind of limits, the pool of women or the pool of partners they can pick from. And you hear them saying that, oh, I can't see any woman, there's nobody I can marry in this church. And you look around the church and you're like, seriously? Seriously, in this church, there are lots of ladies. What about sister this, sister that, sister this, sister N, A, B, C, D, E, F? Oh no, 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 because I've talked with her, but when I talk to her, when I get into her head, there's this about her that no, it doesn't align with me, and you hear them saying those kind of things, and then I start to wonder: are you waiting for an angel from heaven, straight on? with wings, an angel from heaven with wings, made with a woman, you know. Maybe the angel brings the woman, or the angel come in form of it, God sent woman that meets all your values. It's the list is inexhaustive. Like you're like,
Do you mean like
just
the guy's list is inexistent?
yes. For me, I feel this value that you're holding on to. I mean, I've seen lots of women. Of course, they'll quote the story of Solomon, who got married to a woman, and the woman turned his heart from God, right? But there are also some other men, excuse me, some other men in church who are not so spiritual in that way I'm describing it. But because they've attained a certain level of success, they feel that the lady needs to meet up to a certain level so that they're able to look at her and say, yeah, that's my wife right there. They just have this standards, expectations. If she doesn't do it a certain way, like she's not in my class, it's not my type. You hear them saying those kind of things, and it baffles me, and that's the reason why so many of them are not married. Truly, you always hear this adage that says that the grass is green wherever it's watered. So, if the woman meets some certain criteria, I want to say that men should pray about it, and if they have peace, they should go ahead and try to water their own grass, right? And make the woman what they want her to be. Because I believe that marriage changes people. Because looking at my own life, I believe that I somehow my marriage to my husband, he has influenced me in certain way, and I have influenced him in certain way. But when we're going into the marriage, of course, it's not always smooth. It's not always everything that you want in a package ready for you. Because sometimes it's too good to be true, and sometimes it's not true. Some people come like all package, everything that you want is there, just perfect, perfect, perfecto. Until you get married and you start seeing that, that package was not really, really everything that I expected, and then you get the shock of your life. But if you have a certain peace, there's a place of compromise. Because when you live at a certain number of years, you become almost rigid and inflexible, unable to be flexible. That's why I advise men not to wait for too long until they're 43, until they're 40, until they're 39, 38, and even higher. Because at the end of the day, they're better off just going to the village and getting a small little girl from the village if the parents allow them to marry her, and then they can decide to mold her however they want. But nowadays with social media, in those days it was easier. You see older men, 45 years old, they wait and then they become so successful and they go to the village. Their mama helps them to get a wife, or their sisters, or they themselves. They've been looking at one small girl that they've seniored for like 15 years. There's this 15-year gap between them. And
It
they
doesn't
pick her
work.
up and they want her.
It doesn't work anymore. She will come and she will learn things, she will hear things, she will
back
change.
back in the years it was working, because those women, they stayed with those men, and you see this guy really elderly, with the big tummy, and mature guy with a very beautiful young fresh girl that is maybe still in the university, part one, part two, or just finishing high school, and then they get married to her, and then she keeps going to school in his house, and gets her a driver, and then she's pregnant, and she's still going to school. He gets maids for her, and she gives birth, and she's like the queen of his home. But of course, he bends her however he can tell her whatever he wants. She lives for him because it's like he made her, because he would take on the school fees, complete her school, and take care of her parents, and then she feels indebted to him. But nowadays, ha, shocker, things have changed. It's no longer like that. Even the girls in the village, everybody has internet now. Facebook is for everyone. Instagram is for everyone. Everybody's listening to people saying, hey, you cannot get married. And if a guy treats you like this, a man treats you like this, that's abuse, that's not okay. And so it's no longer like before, where you can just close up a woman and leave her in your business, or, just leave her in your own circle and she's there and she's not exposed to the world. It's no more like that. So you cannot just wait for so long and keep waiting and waiting and waiting and get one that is what I want, that I can bend, that I can, recreate it, that I can, mold to what I want her to be. No, no more. It has that has changed. So men need to start thinking about it, that waiting too long is not the solution, because you keep waiting, and at the end of the day you find yourself marrying someone that you have waited so long for, And you will not even have enough time to enjoy your woman before you start getting too old. Because the time is going to come when you become too old and you can no longer enjoy that new beautiful marriage. You will not be able to handle the children that you're going to give birth to because you're having your children when you're in your 50s. You're tired already. You will not have time for fun. Before you know it, you are retired. And the kids, you'll be too old. The generational gap will just be too much. So I don't know, but another thing is some of those men, they just focus on their career, on their studies. They want to be PhD holders. They want to hold this certificate. They want to hold this standing in the society, and they completely forget while building their careers that they need to get married. That you can build your career at the same time build your marriage. They forget it completely. They focus on only their careers, and it just makes them to have limited time to build any personal relationships with people. So it's easy for them, those kind of men, to say, there's no woman. I don't see any woman. Because they're so blinded by their books, their studies, their careers, that they don't even have time to look outside the box to say, okay, maybe there's this lady that smiles at me and that's really nice to me, that's really, tender, that's really, caring, to even notice. They just, sometimes they look for another very educated woman like themselves, very career minded person like themselves, and that's where it's a big problem, right? Because everybody, you're pursuing yours, she's pursuing hers, and they're like, oh my God, I waited for so long just for my marriage to start hitting the rocks after waiting for so long. You hear so many stories like that. And I know some stories like that of people like that who, because they focus so much on their career, they push marriage relationship at the back seat. It was the lowest priority ever. It was like in their lowest priority list. And at the end of the day, they wake up. Now I need a woman. And number one, they start to rush because they didn't have enough time to plan. They didn't have enough time to court the woman. They didn't have enough time to know women and know the different kind of women that exists and know what's the mindset of women nowadays. They just jump into it and they receive the shocker of their life because there's problems start to happen in the marriage, and then they just lost, and they now start going for marriage counseling, pastor, prayer, and all of that. So this is why it becomes very difficult for those kind of men to find a woman later on because they waited for so long, and then they are even afraid. They are now afraid that, okay, now how do I find a woman who is authentic? How do I know that her intentions is real towards me? How do I know that she's not marrying me because I'm this successful man? How do I know that she's not coming into my life because of my money or because of my wealth or because of my status or because of, you know, my connections rather than, me as a person, rather than because she loves me? Why is it, why, how do I know that the reason why she's wanting to get married to me is because she heard that I'm living abroad or that I have this amount of investments? So they become so cautious that they're so afraid to jump into marriage or to propose to someone or to start building because they have this mistrust, so much of mistrust. As much as there is, it's true, there are lots of things that's happening out there. Lots of women are marrying for maybe accepting proposals for selfish reasons, which is normal. Even men get married for selfish reasons. We're just selfish beings, right? Everybody marries for one reason or the other. Some people are marrying because they they need a name to a new name tag to themselves. They need to become MRS, Mrs. Right? They've maybe struggled to succeed, and they need somebody. Some people say that sometimes you need a man to pull you out of poverty, right? I've heard that saying. Sometimes you actually need a man to move you out of poverty. And what's the big deal with that? Yeah, if they are lucky to find a man who feels that, yes, why can't God use me to pull a woman out of poverty? Then it's one go. The marriage will work. But if they find that kind of man that feels immediately you say that word that leads to maybe, what's the big deal if you pull me out of poverty? The man is like, what? Gold digger. He becomes apprehensive, he's careful about you. And then when you start asking questions like, okay, where do you work? How much do you earn? My money is my money. Your money is our money. And he's like, okay. To me, I've suffered all these years. I built all this wealth. And you come here and say, my money is our money. Your money is your money. Okay, come and have the money. And they're like, there's no way. This one cannot be my wife. This one is a gold digger. And the family of the man also, they are also there like hawks. Don't marry a gold digger. Don't marry a gold digger. Watch them, watch them, watch them. What did she come here for? What is it not because of your money? How much is she worth? Why is she here for? What does she want? Why is she looking everywhere? It's funny how ladies will go to a house and they look everywhere like, "Ah." And then the family's like, ah, I saw her looking everywhere. Look, gold digger. My friends, lots of reason why men are not getting married. Lots of men will say the problem with many girls in Africa is that once they hear that you're in the diaspora, everybody wants to say yes, whether they love you or not. Is that true, ladies? Is that true? I know many ladies want to come out of poverty. Who doesn't want good life? Who doesn't want soft life? I want soft life. The men want soft life. We all want soft lives. But, and that's why I always tell women, build on yourself too. While you're waiting, don't sit there and you're waiting. You're just jumping from men to men, waiting for who will propose to you. Every opportunity you have to, get attached to a man, you're just there, you're just there, you're just attaching yourself to him. Why don't you spend time to build yourself up? Because if you're building yourself up, and trust me, there's another thing I notice. Women who are successful also find it difficult to settle down. We'll talk about that in another video. Because they have their independence and they're not ready to lose it for any man. They feel, okay, you're rich, I'm rich. So you control companies, I control companies. You control billions, millions, whatever, it depends on the currency we're talking about in. And I do the same. So what? So what? And that's where you now have this problem of two captains cannot lead the boat. They start having big problems. So as these men are looking for status, they need a woman that meets up to the status. They forget that the women that meet up to the status kind of think like them. And then when you come into those kind of marriage relationship, you see this partnership, very high level of partnership. Sometimes you like the vibe, but if you have a grandma, a mother from the village or a mother from that kind of old mindset, she feels, oh, this woman is controlling, she's not submissive, she's not this, she's not that. And that's where these men that have stayed so many years and have not gotten married need to build on themselves so that they are able to stand up to their mom, to their family members, to know that okay, this is what I got into. I knew what I was getting into. I got into it, and I'm going to stand up for my wife and not throw her under the bus. So there's a lot of topics that can come out of this topic. So I'm just going to leave. I still have more points. Yeah, I've made many points. This thing is like bubbling in my mind. So I just want to leave the floor for another person to talk. So yeah. So welcome, Madam Deborah. I see a question or is a comment from Sandra. Oh, I think there's Sandra. I think Sandra was saying something. I read something there. I didn't really get what she said. If you can show it again on the screen. Is it all society has taught African women to get the perfect African women to get the perfect wife material.
Act the perfect wife material to be able to get married. Married, I think that's what she wanted to write, and keep a marriage. But they have forgotten
To
to
train the
train the
men,
men to be good men.
good men. Wow. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yes, that's very, very particular to the African society.
I just
Women
want
are
to
taught
say
to do
something
lots of
about
things.
your last thought. You said that because a woman is so successful, therefore she will not be looking for partner relationship. In what I'm getting is like there is no submission in that type of relationship, right? But
It's
uh,
kind of a king woman. So a king woman makes a king.
but I don't think that's just because a woman is successful she wouldn't be submissive. I don't think so because if you look at Proverbs 31 woman, she was very successful and but she was still very submissive to her husband, very respectful. The whole city knew about her that she was making her husband really proud. So I don't submit.
That 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 man of Proverbs 31, what was he doing? What was he really doing? In that verse of Proverbs 31, that man that is the husband of that woman, what did he do? Is
What
a
did
mother writing to her, is a mother writing to her son. and telling him the type of woman he should get. It's kind of idealistic. What did that man do in that proverb? Can you
He was
tell me one thing that man was doing there?
a leader. He was among the councilmen, so it says a lot about him.
That he just went to sit down at the gate?
No, think about the context of it. He is among the
What context? What did he do?
councilmen. Councilmen in that time,
Mm.
if you read about is it the Greek Empire also, that they value men that have very high uh, thinking faculties, right, than men that are physically capable. So for him to be in the High Council, he has a very high. Um,
But they did not, there is no any verse of script, there is no any chapter that describes a full chapter that describes what a a kind of a man like that, like a version of the virtuous woman, a man like that in scriptures. Why?
what do you mean?
Doesn't it puzzles you?
What do you mean?
And that man, that woman, she she wakes up. They say she wakes up early. She buys land. She does this. She does that. Okay, good. She does all those. What does that man do? What does he do? What does he do for her? Don't do
He's
anything for her.
council man.
What council
A
man?
Do you
councilman.
know what that means? That means a councilman. It's
No,
like
but
our
forget. No,
president right now. So you can't say he didn't do anything. He was
wait.
very important in the society. Very
But
important.
at the same time, normally, if you read the Jewish law, the men are providers. They take care of the home. So that
Councilman, you think
proverb.
a councilman will not take care of his home?
But the virtuous woman is like a provider now. If you read what how she behaves, or she makes this for her mates, she makes food for this. There's nowhere in that chapter that says that the man puts anything down for her
Without
to
his
do anything.
influence, do you think it will be easier for her to do all those things?
Influence, oh Senor,
Oh, but wait, listen.
It
Don't
is
forget that.
true.
Don't forget that she
It's a
had
councilman.
maids. The woman had
yes,
maids. She
she
had
had
maids.
mates. Yes,
Yeah. So
yes.
she's like a very busy woman, like a business woman.
Yeah.
She wakes up early. I wake up early, but sometimes I wake up for whatever reasons that I wake up for. Not necessarily to start like doing any house calls.
Hmm.
She could be waking up early to plan her life. So
Yeah.
me, I see that Proverb 31 woman as a woman that lots of women should emulate. And she's the kind of woman that, with or without her husband, she can hold her family together. Whether the man is there or not, she'll be able to meet her own needs and the needs of her children.
That kind of woman in our society today is a high class. That's a high class woman. Okay.
Mhm.
And that woman is highly industrious. That woman is she's in this our time is a very independent woman. She has
Yes,
her money. She does not need the money of the guy to live.
But
Okay.
that's not
that's
the
right.
point of the marriage.
You said what?
But that's not the point of the marriage.
What's the point of the marriage? The point of the marriage as for what? What do you mean?
The point of a marriage is to fulfill God's commandment for it, right? So it's not about just her being dependent on her husband,
No,
right?
we're not, I don't think that a wife is a dependent. I
Okay,
don't
so
believe.
so she can provide for herself. She can be independent. Does it mean that she doesn't need to be married? It doesn't mean that,
Yeah, well, those kind of women they marry because they want to
right?
have a home, they want to build a home, they want to have their children, and it's not because those kind of women you cannot call them gold diggers, right? You cannot call them gold diggers. So, of
Not a
course,
goal.
I only mentioned this because of when I was explaining that some women getting married to a very successful guy who has maybe waited for so long, very eligible bachelor who has not married on time, and coming into that home, people start to wonder what's her portfolio, especially the family of the guy. They start
Correct.
wondering, our brother has stayed for so long. What's this woman's portfolio? What's he here for? What is she bringing? to this
Yeah.
table. And there's this post that has been going on Facebook that I saw, and they said, women have soft life. A woman will come inside the marriage with only $2,000. I mean, let's say $200 in her account.
Hmm.
What will she do with that one? And she will get married. But a man cannot do that. It makes me to laugh and to pause at the same time, because I believe that many of those people have forgotten that men are providers. And this week I was talking to one of the sisters that I'll call like an auntie to me. I like her very much. She's very matured, and she just retired not too long ago. And she was talking to me. She's a very high class woman, very professional woman in her world before she retired. And she made a statement. She said the problem while many marriages are breaking today is because many brothers, many young men don't understand their role in getting married. They forget that the Bible said that a man who cannot provide for his home is worse than an infidel. That the basic reason why many marriages are having problems, if you dig deep, is finance. Finance is at the center of all those marital problems that we're having. And that's because men start feeling like, oh, what are you bringing to the table? They forget that when you are getting married, you are coming first as you can marry a very educated woman. Okay, you can marry a woman that she she has her own career, she has her own money, she has this, she has that. You are not coming into the marriage with the expectation that the woman is going to be the one to cater for your home. If you're not ready to be able to somewhat cater for your home, don't get married.
Hmm.
Don't get married. And all those men that sit down and say they have a call, and you don't have any side gig beside to support your call. And you're looking for a medical doctor to get married to. You're looking for a businesswoman to get married to. You're looking for an engineer, fulfilled and established engineer to get married to, that will be supporting your call and your ministry. You are worse than an infidel when you do that. Because that's not the call of God to you. If you're going to get married and you have a call, wait for your call to start yielding dividends that can feed your family before you get married and bring a woman to the home.
Why are you talking about? Is it only those guys that have calls that don't?
No, no, no. I'm
Many
just
guys are sitting even
mentioning.
on the fence. They are
No,
not
no,
even
no.
doing anything today.
I'm not saying I'm giving scenarios. Okay, I'm just giving scenarios. Those who have a call, those who feel that me, I cannot do dirty jobs. Like some men who come abroad. Okay, they will come abroad, and maybe their wife got a job, and their wife started working, and their wife brought them, or they came together and luck just shined on the woman and she got a job before they did. And then they feel, nah, me, I can't do dirty job. Oh. Can't do dirty job. Oh. Me, I was an engineer in my country, in Africa. I can't come and do dirty job here. I can't. They forget that some jobs are just stepping stone. You're just doing it temporarily to put body and soul together until the time when you get the job that you're looking for. Then they will sit down and do nothing, and then the woman would have to go out. She's a nurse, she's a nursing aide, she's whatever it is, she's whatever it is that it is. She goes out there and she does her own part of the job, and the guy is just at home. Before you know it, there's going to be problems in that home. There is going to be problems in that home. That's number one. Another scenario is where you see men hiding their own account from their wives. Hmm? Then they say it's 50-50, and they are earning more than the woman because they have enough time to go and do overtime because the woman is holding the fort. But when they come, they say it's 50-50.
So now
And
we're
the woman
changing.
is feeling that she's not seeing the money. And then problems start happening. Okay, yeah, we digressed a little bit, but let's just stay on this topic. Why do young men struggle to get married? So, of course, the fear of divorce is one of them, right? The fear of divorce. How do I know that this woman is going to stay with me? And I'm hearing so many divorce online. I'm hearing problems here. I'm hearing this one. This marriage has broke. Do that marriage has broke. This one has happened. Women are now, especially in this diaspora, men think that these countries are for women. Oh. Anything that you do, they support the woman. Oh. Before you know it, oh, she'll kick you out. Oh, and before this, oh. But sometimes I ask myself, women are not crazy. They are not in that marriage to break it. What did you do that is making the woman to start feeling like, this thing is not going to work? We are not in Africa. Here,
Well,
you
well,
cannot torment
well,
me and go scot-free. What
well.
did you do? What did you do that is making those
Because in the
get down?
issues of the struggles that young men are having, marrying is for the young men that are in the diaspora, Uh, is either there are some of them that have not lived a very rough life. Some of them they don't want to get married to ladies that have lived a very rough life, as in that came in maybe that have done one or two things, to be able to survive here in this on this part of the world, maybe like selling their bodies and all stuff like that,
Hmm.
getting their
Before they
bodies
gave
for
their
money.
heart to Jesus and became born again,
Yes,
Abby, they
yes,
forget that
and
Jesus Christ has washed everything. They're still looking for clean churches. Okay, keep going.
but it has consequences now. Even if the Lord has washed it, they still have its own
Leave,
consequences. You know.
leave that topic for another day.
So you see, so that's one of the struggles that some of those young men are having. Another one is that the fear because of the surge in the independence, the way the society is built such that there is a lot of empowerment for women, in the sense that a woman that didn't could not aspire uh, in her home country, either in Asia or in Africa, comes to this part of the world, even at whatever age she is, she begins to aspire. She can go to do trainings and start to and get a job.
Mhm.
She, there are many trainings that are opened, and she can always easily get a job. There are. It's an organized system. Since it's organized, she can always, if she has a baby, she can always get her baby to a place to be kept, and then so she can work without being afraid that the child will be molested. Something that doesn't mean that there are no molestations. Yeah, but and then another thing is that if she is having a challenge, if she's having a challenge, she's there are a lot of social workers and all those that are ready to listen to you. But on the other parts of the world, family members are the ones that are running the affairs of homes. So the family member of the lady or the family member of the man, they are not neutral. That's number one. Number two, even if they are neutral, even if they try to be neutral or impartial, some feel it's a shame if it does not work or something, but that's not the case in on this part of the world. So women do not really give a crap. There are a lot of people that are so those are the little things that are making young men to
Afraid.
be reticent on who to get married. But in a Christian setting, normally a lady is not going to get married with the thought that she will get a divorce, or she
Huh?
will.
Are you serious?
Yes, it depends on the teaching.
You've not been
It,
talking to young Christian women lately.
no, no, no. It depends on the teaching where you come from. That's the reason why.
I'm sorry,
Uh,
I've been talking to a lot of them, and 90% of them are looking at divorce as the number one thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
90% of them are looking at divorce, looking at thinking about divorce, as in
Yeah.
planning to get married and to
They don't think
divorce.
yes, they don't think about conflict resolution. They don't think about, oh, maybe if things go wrong, I need to talk to somebody or we need to sort it out somehow.
The
No,
truth
they
is
say,
that those young ladies that think
hold
that
on. They say,
those
they say that, listen, I'm not going to tolerate anything, right? If I see something that is not part of what we bargained, I'm
Mhm.
out. That's their first line of action, which is it's not right.
so why is it not a thing that should call for deep thoughts? Why will a lady struggle to get married and they want to get out? Why?
It's fine. It's fine for them to think those things. But from the main point of view, right? When you hear that, automatic, you are already putting that person in the waiting line, right? Because I don't want to marry somebody that I'm thinking in my head, oh, 10 years down the line, she'll be telling me that, oh, I'm looking at the door. Like, for what? Why would I go through all that stress? I don't need that. I want peace, right? So I'd rather stay alone than go marry and be going through that stress of okay, divorce or no was okay, kids here, kids not there. Come on, no,
Mm.
you can stay on your own. I stay on my own. It's fine, right? So that's one of the reasons why some men are just like, okay, fine. I don't see a woman that fits into my criteria. It's fine. We can stay, right? At the end of the day, you see, companionship is something that is very, very. I'm sorry to say this, but women are losing more in this because companionship is very much important to women than men, right?
Anyway, in the
So
earlier years, listen, the issues of compassion companionship, I've come to realize that if you look around you, I don't know about all those statistics that are flying all around on the internet. Look around you. In the later years of a woman's life, a woman that a woman lives well alone when she's older that when she struggles because she will
all right,
struggle to keep you as a companion when she's younger because she needs your help to nurture the children. But when she gets older, she doesn't care anymore. When she
Mm.
doesn't have children to take care of, she does not care anymore. La preuve est que is the older men are the ones that are still remarrying. Yeah, it's the older men that need people to take care of them. The older men are the ones that are
but
still looking for people to take care of them.
think about it like this, right? It's more difficult for a woman to remarry. It's more easier
If
for a
you are
woman
ready, if you are
to
looking at it from on the perspective of, if you are looking at it from the African perspective, you know that on this part of the world, at any age of your life, if you want to remarry or you want to meet with somebody or you want to live a life with another man, it's very very easy.
Yeah.
So
no,
it,
yeah.
it is
Hold
it is
on, that's
it
not
is
what
it is
I'm saying that it is easier for a man to move on to another woman in the mental state of men. Women gets emotionally attached to a man for a very, very long time.
it's
And
not emotional attachment that is keeping them. No, no, no. It's not emotional attachment. It is just that men generally, once a man has married and he gets divorced, he does not know how to live alone. The little things that he could do as a single, he can no more do it on
Can't
his
do
own
them
again.
anymore.
so it's easier for him to move on, right?
Is it
No,
because it's
wait.
easier?
I don't think that
Is
it's
it
easier for
easy?
him to
It
move
is
on.
easier.
No, no,
It's not
no.
easy.
I think
It's
you
not
see,
easy.
most women, most women that have gotten married and then maybe they've gotten out of the marriage or they are widowed. I've noticed that many of them don't want to remarry. You know what they say? Hey, I'll go back again and start that nonsense.
You see?
Taking care of a man, cleaning for him. No,
Cook
no, no,
for
no, no.
him,
Please, please,
do
please.
this
That,
for
I
him,
like my
do that
independence
for
like
him,
this.
that's
because
not true.
you're always going to be there like a nurse.
But if you think about it from the man's perspective, it's not the case. The man don't think that. The
But you're
man
a
does.
man, so we can't think. We don't know. We can't
The man
say what
thinks,
you think.
oh, okay, I really love that woman, but right now
I've seen another catch.
I need another woman, right? He will love his first love, but I'm telling you, men are problem solvers. We see a problem, we solve it. Women, you'll be thinking about 100 ways of what went wrong or what didn't go wrong. A man, generally speaking, there are still men that think about those things, but
It's not for me. I don't think it's a problem solving thing. It's not
okay.
a problem solving thing. It's a need to satisfy his needs because
De-
he cannot
Defining
do it by himself. He
defining
cannot.
defining
He
any
cannot.
any way you
He
want, but
cannot. He
the
cannot
result
take care of himself. That's just the main thing. He cannot.
the truth is
A guy, an older guy in his 50s, in his 60s, in his 70s, look at him, is more miserable than a woman that is in that age.
why is he more miserable?
It's miserable because he cannot do anything by himself. He cannot cook for himself. He cannot clean his house. He
What is
cannot
it
wash his clothes.
himself?
He cannot do anything for
He doesn't need to
himself.
do those things.
Hmm?
He doesn't need to do those things. He can get somebody to do it for him.
But why don't he get? Why don't he get somebody to do it for him?
He will get. What are you talking about? He will definitely get.
He cannot. He needs some. He needs
Why will
most
you?
of them.
How,
You need that at that age, at 50 and 70. especially those that have fooled them. You know, when a guy is in divorce, he has been divorced many, many times. You know that he doesn't have anything anything special around him now. So
You don't
he does
understand.
it.
He will go for a younger woman that needs his settled phase, right? And what does he need? He needs what he needs, right? And they both will come to a very good balance.
A younger
He will not
woman will
give him
always, let me tell you, a younger woman also that comes to the older man is marrying the older man because she also does not have any bearing.
correct.
She
You're
came there
right.
to get
So
something.
it is, they're all
You're very
dependents.
correct. And the man knows that.
They are
But,
dependents
but
on
you
each
know,
other.
but you know the
They
one
are
thing that
dependents on
you know
each
one
other.
thing that is very do you know one thing that is very constant with the man? You will find peace because she'll not give him headache. He knows what she wants. He'll give her exactly what she wants. And she'll give him exactly what he wants.
Yes, but when he was young, his younger self refused to give the woman that he divorced what she wanted. That's the problem. But
But
when
Or
he
the
gets
or the
older,
woman
think
he
he's
about
had in his
60,
life before she died.
he's
but
60,
think
he's
about the
60.
woman at 60, at 70. Do you think it would be easier for her to go find a young man and say, "Oh, come on, be my husband"?
Oh, they
Uh,
get oh
they're
in diaspora,
doing it
you get.
now.
What are you
They're doing
talking
it.
about?
You too, you know they're
Of
doing
course,
it.
I'm talking about majority. We don't look at life in minorities. There are women that can definitely do it, but generally, women don't like that. Women like to look up to their man, right?
No, not older women. It's not obligatory for older
Older
women to
women
look
now
up to the
need
man.
they need machine. Oh. They need a man that will do the work. I saying you're deceiving yourself. You are deceiving
No,
yourself.
but at that point, it's not about
Rich older women, they get themselves any young man they need.
yeah.
Don't let
They're
anybody deceive
not
you.
truly happy. They're not truly happy. They are just like having fun. It's different.
And they're having fun now.
No,
The
you
the
know
man
what?
that is getting married to a young girl, what is he doing? He's not having fun.
It's not fun. What is the reason? He's
The
looking
man
for a
thinking
nurse,
is
number one, because he cannot claim his mate. He's
thinking
looking for a nurse. And the
man.
worst of it all is that if she's a smart, small, young girl, she will do everything and kill him off and take anything she needs to take from him. Yes. Anything she will do anything to make him disappear from this
Let us
world
look
and
at
take
No,
anything.
that's not a Christian. And
let
that's
us
not a
look at
girl
let
that is
us look at
sincere.
let us look at
Most sincere
Jacob's wife.
girls will not want to finish him or anything.
Let us
No.
look at Jacob's wife. Hmm? When Jacob married uh, Leah, and then boy, he really wanted the younger sister, right?
Rachel.
Rachel. Now, when he went to go and marry Rachel, did Leah went and threw a protest saying that why did you marry my younger sister? No. Well, and then she says, "Oh, I'm going to go marry a rich man over there." No, she can't do that because already in the society, in the eyes of people, right? She's married to Jacob. Everybody knows Jacob, right? So I think she just have to do with what she had. Now, if you are translate it into our society right now, I mean, if you are a divorced woman, they look at you differently from a divorced man. It's a big difference.
What's the difference?
A younger woman, she don't mind getting married to a divorced man. Hmm? But a man, to get married to a divorced woman is difficult.
Who told
He
you
has
that? Why are you looking with the lens? Why are you having a lens? Why are you looking from the lens? I know some young
I'm
men
not
that have never married in their life. I've never had a child that have been married to divorced women that have children. What are you talking
now let me
about?
give you reasons. Let me give you reasons why it's difficult. Number one, his family members speak against it. Hmm?
That's only in Africa. You're talking of African men now.
No, not African
Yes,
men.
you're talking of African
No,
men.
no,
No. You're talking of African men or Middle
no.
Eastern men.
I have,
No.
I have, I have Indian friends. I have Arab friends. They
Yes, that's
say
what I said now. I said African and Middle Eastern men. Those are the only men that do those
even
things.
Caucasians,
No, not too many Caucasians do that.
even
Caucasians
Caucasians,
don't,
you'd
they
be
don't really
surprised.
do that.
They
They
just
don't,
don't
no, no,
express
no.
their thoughts. right? But in a man-to-man conversation, they will tell you the truth, right? So they will not tell you as a woman that okay, this is how we are thinking. No, they will not, because everybody's afraid. You know, in the Western world, they're afraid that okay, maybe you label them something. But to be candid with you, they look at those things. Okay, how will my friends see me? How will my family members see me? Um, you know, how will I see myself as a guy? Right? You mean I cannot get a young woman that is not married? Why would I be going for this divorce woman when there are so many women out there, right? Especially if that man is a high value man. Come on, there's no incentive for him to be married to a divorced woman, right? So yes, the minority of women, there are minority of men that don't care. They will marry whoever and whoever. They don't care whatever the world thinks. Well, generally speaking, that's just how it is. Men will not. They'll go. They'll go hunting for a younger blood because of one serious reason that women don't even think about most times. A man is looking for a woman that will be on his program, not that you come and bring your own program to, to his table. No, this is the program. We are working on this together. You bring your ideas, and we make it work better. Not that you now come and say, okay, it's a partnership. It's a partnership. Okay, I'm bringing my own program. Let's work on my own. It doesn't work like that. I'm sorry to say, it doesn't work like that. Most men do not think that way, especially high value men. They don't think that way. Like, it's either you're on their program or you're not. They have options. Do you know how many women are lining up to go for that? So you can't be saying that, okay, oh, I am high value woman, so therefore you should treat me like that. What? He doesn't care about your high value. He doesn't care about your high value. He needs peace. That's all he's looking for. He's looking for peace so he can think of how he can conquer the world. Right?
The
So
man's world.
yes, yes. So if you don't want to be under the man's program, you should go and find those minority of men that will definitely partner with you. There are men like that. There are so many of them, but they are just the minority. Most men, they like to lead, right? And that's why some of them they are too extreme. They will come to this end of the world and they feel like they're useless because the woman is earning more than them, right? And then they feel like some of them will go to the extreme end of like wanting to stop the woman from working because they want to feel so important. Oh, they want providing for the house, you know. So, so that is how serious it is with men, right? And it's unfortunate that education and the society of the Western world is trying to educate women that oh, you can be so independent and be strong and be like alpha woman. Well, I'm sorry. Before you know what's happening, you have conflict in that your relationship if you go by those things.
With the way things are going today, the possibility that as we get much more and there are more opportunities that are open with to women, there will be more and more conflicts in homes because a lot of guys are not very Sandra. A lot of guys are not very um ready. They are not very ready to admit that the world is becoming just like it's opened to women and women have they are beginning to play on the same level with them. So
Hmm.
conflicts until except if men decide to change the ball game and begin to play on a different ball game. But if they continue with the old yardstick,
And change.
if they continue with the old yardstick of looking for a nurse and a maid,
It will not
The
work.
era of having a nurse and a maid
It
because
has
you're high
passed.
value, whatever, it has passed.
What is
Women
it?
are getting high value themselves. La preuve est que,
Define nurse and a
la
maid.
preuve est que this woman, Alakija, she was with this man for, she's 72 now, almost. They said she's having some problems with her eyes, and she's separate from the guy. What are you talking about? She must have managed that man, because we didn't hear that the man became, you see, if he was high value in his head, how can you be living with an high value woman all these years? Did he become high value, the man? Eh? The woman sent him out from her mansion. Yeah, you see,
That's
72-year-old, she sent
beauty.
him out from her mansion.
You don't
Mhm.
make rules based on
No,
abnormal.
I'm just telling you that if men don't, the younger generation of men, let
It's
me
not the
tell
common
you,
woman's ideal or the common man's ideal. So you can't
the
be using
younger generation, are you not seeing what is happening in the diaspora? The younger generation of men, even now in Nigeria, now in Africa now, the number, do you know that there are women now that are older women that are beginning to opt out of their marriages? Is it not something that should give you a concern?
this is
What
there.
makes those women that are older in their 50s
Hmm.
saying that I stayed put there, I was trying to make it work, but I saw that it was not working, I decided to go out? A woman that is over 50, those
Yeah.
things, they were. Do you know that the reason why many people in the older generation, those women that stayed 40 years, 50 years in marriages, that they never went out there, many of them, if you sit down with many of those women
They have a
and you
lot
talk
of
with them,
stories.
bad
Bad stories.
stories,
Scars. That they
bitter
just stayed
stories of
because I stayed there
how
because of
they
my
served
children.
men, how they served those men till they died, or how they served those men. And many women, the younger generation they are not ready to do what the older generation did.
No,
They are not
they
ready.
are
They don't
not.
care what others are going to see about these women. They are staying in their marriages of what? Can you imagine a man that maybe has 12 children, he never even sent one of his child to school? You think that woman that is staying in that marriage of 50 years,
It's
she's
happy.
happy? Do you think she's happy? Then when the man dies, they will now say, we thank God she had a marriage of 50 years. You think she's happy? But now, women are now beginning to paro. What you're just saying now, you say men are looking for their peace. The truth is that it's not peace they are looking for. It's their happiness and their pleasure. So women are beginning to
Exactly.
think about their happiness and their pleasure
Pleasure.
now.
So wait. Let's talk about this. So are you saying that women of the old generation are unhappy?
I'm telling you.
Many of them,
Oh really?
many of them
So
are sad. They're just pretending.
if we call
Many of them
on
are
Esther
sad.
in the
Some
Many
of
of the
Bible,
them,
older generation
listen
women
to
are
me,
not very
if we
happy
call
my,
with that.
my dear
Rachel in
brother.
the Bible,
Many of some of them,
you'll
they
be
got
unhappy.
slapped, they got
No, wait,
slapped,
wait.
they
If
were
we
not
call
taken care
Rachel
of.
in the Bible, she'll be unhappy.
Huh?
You said what?
If we talk to Rachel in the Bible, she'll be unhappy.
Was she
Rachel
very
in the
happy?
Bible.
Did you not see them struggling man?
What?
Rachel of the Bible, Rachel
Yeah.
and Leah.
Uh-huh. Was she unhappy?
Why was she
She,
struggling?
she,
Why was she
she,
bringing her maid?
she
Why
was
were they all
struggling.
struggling?
She was struggling because she believed that even though that her man loved her so much more than her eldest sister, the eldest sister that was not loved,
Had
God
something.
blessed that elder sister with children.
Who said he didn't love the
But
other?
she did not have
He
children.
loved the elder
Having
sister, but he loved
generation,
Esther more.
you say what?
He loved the elder sister,
He
but
didn't
he
love
loved
her.
Esther more.
No,
He
no,
didn't
no,
love
he
her.
did not love her. He did
He
not
didn't
love
love
her.
her.
That woman, I've made up my mind. I want to even write about that woman. That woman, she was not loved. She
Why? She
thought
was
that she
loved.
could,
Yeah,
she
She
thought
wasn't
that
loved
she
now.
could, let me tell you, she thought she could buy the love of that man by having
By
more children.
more
She even
children.
went to the extent of, do you know the kind of name she gave her children? Go and read it. Go and read the way she named her children. She thought that,
Now my husband will love me. She got
that
the name. You know,
and
there's
my
something
youngest
there's something
sister,
I noticed. Most women, most women that run and struggle to be loved, they keep doing it all their life. And that's why I tell people, don't get into a marriage with a man that you love more than he loves you. You are the one that's struggling to be in his face. You are the one that is looking for him. Oh, the fight will continue for the rest of your life. Don't have to struggle to be loved. You don't struggle for someone to love you. It's either they love you or they don't love you. And there is no need to waste your time. Anybody that is already in a marriage where they don't love you, just you have children already, just start to love on yourself. The man will decide if he wants to love you or not. Love on yourself so much that he himself will tell himself, oh boy, I
Every
need to love
man,
this
my
girl so that
my
at least I
my
can be
late
in
father
her
said
front.
that men are very selfish. Okay, that men generally are selfish beings. So every man, whether Christian or unchristian, does not believe in Bible, the first thing, one of the first things he think about is
You see
his
himself.
personal interest first.
Yes, it's pleasure. Why do
So
men marry? Why you as a
as
man,
a
why do you want to
young
marry?
man that has a
Should I
lot
tell
of
you why?
money,
Hmm?
Should I tell you why?
Why do you want to marry?
Number one, I want peace.
What is peace?
you don't have peace now. As you are single now, you don't have peace. Is peace
Peace?
lacking in your life? Why are you
What is
deceiving yourself?
peace?
I want
Why are you
peace.
deceiving yourself? Which peace? Who
Okay, so
told you
he
that
said he wants
women, as
peace.
I
Number
am now,
one.
I'm not looking
Okay.
for peace?
Number two,
I'm
what
also
do you
looking for
want?
peace. Even as a single, when I was a single woman, one of the things I told the person I was getting married to is that, listen, I want peace. If you cannot
Peace.
give me peace,
Let me
pack
define
your
it.
load and
Let,
go and
let,
marry
me tell
somebody
you,
else.
let me tell you what peace means. Peace means that, okay, I've gone out, I've worked, right? And I've struggled, I've fought with a lot of people out there. And then I come home. I want my woman to just be like, oh, my husband is so happy to see you.
Huh?
Oh my God. You know?
Yes. When you are looking for doll babies, you have to. Yeah.
No, 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 it's not that
What is the
baby.
name of this man?
It's not that baby.
Elon Musk is
No.
is creating some robots. You should look for a
That is
robot
not husband.
that will do that for you.
Don't get it
No, no,
Because
no. Wait.
the
Let him finish.
problem,
Wait,
Let
wait,
this
wait,
guy
wait, wait,
finish.
wait.
Wait. Let him
There are
finish.
women that by the time the husband is coming, they are just like hugging them. Oh, I missed you. You see, that's the kind of thing I want. Right?
if you give her peace, she give you peace now. Don't you
Wait.
know that?
Hey,
No,
let me
if you
finish now.
from the morning on phone, you have been sending good messages to her.
Sweet
If
messages.
peace,
Uh-uh.
if you
Wait
give
now.
You will
anything
get
you give a woman,
welcome
she
I'm not
gives
talking
you
at the
back.
about what women
entrance, my
should do.
bro.
Let me
If
say,
you see a woman hugging, if you see a woman that hugs
wait, do you want
her
me to answer
man,
that question or not?
okay,
Okay,
answer.
continue.
Answer.
So, so I'm trying to tell you what peace means, right? So, when I come home, my wife's like, "Oh my God, how's work? Right? How was this? How was that? You look stressed. What happened?
And then she become your
Wait, now let me
masseuse.
finish.
She'll massage you. Put
Wait,
your leg in
wait,
water.
let me finish. Oh, so she'll be like, okay, so tell me, hope, hope your boss is not stressing you out too much. Oh, my husband, don't worry. You are home now. You are with me. I'm with, I'm your mama, right? I'm your mama right now. So just forget about this. Calm. We are going to chill, right? I have some nice food for you.
After what?
I have a very nice, delicious food for you. Okay, so like you know what? Just eat first and relax, then we'll talk about it. So that's peace. Not a woman that right from the door. Ah, David, you know what? I've been telling you that thing that I've been telling you that since the morning. You have not done it. What's happening? That is not peace. You see, that is not peace. Even though I have not done certain things, right? You will first of all calm down and you welcome me first and you make me feel like, okay, I'm coming to a safe space. Not that I'm coming to another war zone. Do you understand? So that
Okay.
is peace. A lot of women lack that, right?
It's all right.
Okay. So that's
Mhm.
one. Number two, mm, we just want respect. It's very simple. Just respect. Like
Define
don't
respect.
like the way you talk to me. You don't talk to me like I am I am not important to you, right?
Mhm.
You talk to me like as if I mean something to you. Like you understand? Like I mean something to you. I am like very important to you. That's respect. You get what I mean? Like, not that you be talking to me like you get. So that's respect. That's all most men are looking for, right?
Do you have a female friend, like friends, girls that
I do
around you,
know.
ladies that are around you?
I
Do you
do know.
think that they respect you or not?
Some of them do, some of them don't.
Okay.
Mhm. Some of them, if they talk to you and oh, you feel like should I marry this one already? You get? Oh, so you see, those are one of the things that. But women tend to complicate these things. They think, oh, I need to be so beautiful. I need to be so perfect. I need to be this, to be that. No, that's not what men are looking for.
Hmm? From your own mouth.
Those those things are just additional things. You know, you need to look good. You need to look right. But to the core of it, because you know what I'm saying, those things are not that important. Because like no matter how beautiful you are, after I've lived with you for 10 years, come on, I've seen you so many times. Do you think you'll be more beautiful to me than I've seen you the first time? No, I'll be looking at something different. I'll be looking at your heart. I'll be looking at your mannerism, your attitude, your approach to life, right? Your relationship with me and even people around you. Those kind of things. Not how beautiful you are or the hair you made today on tomorrow. It doesn't matter to me anymore at that time, right? So there's one thing that we didn't talk about. I wanted to just
Yeah.
go back to talk about. Like a lot of young men are not married because they are still broken, right? They are still
Broken.
yes, they're dealing with
Mm.
some deep-rooted,
Trauma.
terrible things,
Mm.
right? Which they cannot get over. Some of them it could be childhood traumas, right? They're dealing with, and they've not gotten over those things. And unfortunately, those kind of men get married, and they will just be stressing out the woman for no reason. She will not understand where is this thing coming from. But
Yeah.
I strongly believe that those kind of men shouldn't get married because it's trouble for a woman to be chaotic. They will be malfunctioning. You not even know. You see, and funny thing is, most women will just be blaming themselves for no reason. Oh, is it, what did I do? Am I not good enough for him? Or am I not more beautiful enough for him? Is there a woman out there? But no, it has nothing to do with you or a woman out there that is no, it's just him like having demons within him that he needs to deal with. And most women, single women, don't pay attention to those things. They just like, oh, fine, brother, it must be nice, you know. The butterfly effect just capture them. When you see a fine man, you can't resist his tall, his dark, his whatever. So that's what we look at. But I think you should really, really is very important, especially in this age where emotional health is very key and it's a
Mm.
very common topic. You should really pay attention to the emotional state of whoever you're talking to because
Mm-hmm.
you discover some things that is telling you that this guy might not be he might not be ready for marriage oh.
Yeah.
Before you go and get into hot soup. You'll be
Mm.
slapping him for no reason. You are not the problem of
Here's the
him slapping.
problem.
He is the problem, right?
Mm.
So I think guys like that should not be married. They should first go through therapy, try to deal with those things. And sometimes it might not be childhood problems. It's just that one woman that penetrated his soul so much and then broke it
Broke them.
apart. And there are some type of people that they cannot just get over um, some relationships, right? They've
Mm.
been through one relationship throughout their life that is so deep rooted within their soul that it will take a lot of work for them to get out of it. So even though they are separated from that individual, but deep within themselves, they are still connected to that person. Like,
Yeah.
and they'll just be playing a role of, okay, I want to marry this new person. In fact, let me just share this thing. Um, I was speaking to an old friend, right? He was telling me his situation. I was telling him about a, a relationship he had like back in university days. That this woman meant a lot to him, right? And even in his present state with his wife and kids, he says, "Man, that woman is still like top in his heart." So, for old man to be saying things like that, it just means that he is still knitted with that woman's soul, right? And
Mm.
sometimes his wife, he is nice to his wife. It's not that he's having issues with his wife, but he just he opened up to me. His wife doesn't know this, but he he made it clear that he's not showing the love that he really showed to that woman the same way to his wife. Like, and he feels sometimes he feels guilty about it because
Mm.
he has not gone past that. He has not gone past that woman. So, women, please, as much as we are trying to get married so quick, this man is looking succulent and looking so prepared and looking put together. He has all the money, he has all the looks. Look deeper than looks. Make sure you are really trying to penetrate the minds of whoever you're talking to. Don't talk about surface level things. I see a lot of women, all they talk about is, oh yeah, we're going to travel to this place, we're going to travel to that place. Oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that together. But
Mm.
you do not talk about like serious things that has to do with like emotional states and um, how they think about things in terms of their core belief systems. So I mean, we should really, really be careful. We should really be careful. Same goes for women. Like, recently, I was speaking to a lady. She was telling me how traumatic her experience is for with her parents, and she said well, for her, she's going through therapy though, but she said that she's been struggling with and what really struck me is like she no longer trusts herself. Like, she only trusts whatever her therapist tells her. So that's how serious it is, right? For for some people out there,
Mm.
people are going through things that you wouldn't know. She looks pretty on the outside, like she looks all right. She's doing
Mm.
well for herself, but trust me, she's dealing with some things. So, um, if I didn't have that kind of deep conversation with her, I wouldn't know. Like, like she's dealing with some things, uh,
Mm.
some emotional battles. She looks very fine, like she's happy, right? So I think as Christians, even though we are Christians, we should really imagine how Jacob felt when he was coming to meet his brother, right? He, he, you know that he was very reluctant to meet his brother because he was feeling like, oh, things might go down, right? So that kind of emotional state, regardless of whether you're a Christian, uh, spirit filled or not, right? There are some things that Christians need to really take care of before they say they want to get married. So I think that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you so much. And please, if you have not loved, shared this video, or subscribed to this YouTube channel and follow the page and the Instagram page, then what are you waiting for? This is the right time to hit the subscribe button, share this video with a friend who share with a friend and another friend and another friend, and so that this information, this discussion can get across to as many people who would want to have this frank, safe conversations, from the Christian perspective. And we'll be happy to know what comments you have to share, what thoughts you have about this topic. What experiences do you have? What stories? Please, we want you guys to send us stories. If you want us to share your story anonymously, please do that. Send us your story anonymously to the YouTube channel email address, which is live singles deeperlife at gmail.com. Okay. Or you can also send a personal message to the page as well, and we will be happy to share your story and hear people's opinion about it. And if you have a prayer request as well, please do well to share it with us. We will be happy to pray along with you. And don't forget that we have our prayers every first Friday of the month. And we pop in for lives like this from time to time when we have a burning topic that we need to address. Then we come here, and we hope to come a little more often. And we have short stories on the YouTube channel where we share shorts about very interesting stories. So live singles deeper live at gmail.com is here. You can see that's the email address to which you can share your stories if you want us to share it anonymously and answer those questions. We'll be happy to bring very seasoned speakers to come and answer your questions. And we have our prayer leaders who also help us. And guess what? This week I got the surprise of my life when one of these very senior ladies, professional ladies in the church, in our church, in the Christendom, reached out to me and she said, "Thank you for this podcast and this group and this page that you people are running to help our singles." She said, "How is the podcast going?" I was like, "Whoa, how do you know about our podcast?" She's like, "Oh, I know about your podcast. Thank you for what you people are doing. You're doing a good job. And please keep talking to the young people because our young people need a lot of talking to. There is a lot of things that they're not doing right. And that's why the marriages of nowadays are hitting the rocks. It's not like how it was before, where men knew what they ought to do in a marriage, their responsibilities, and women knew what they needed to do in a marriage, their own responsibilities. So keep talking to them, even if however you feel, however they hit back at you, some people will come at you, but don't be discouraged. Keep talking. There is impact in what you're doing. And I would like to thank her. I know she watches our video. Now I know she watches our videos and she shares it to her children as well. I want to thank her for that word of encouragement. And I want to thank all those my lovely aunties, Auntie Kofo, and all of them for all their lovely encouragement to us on on this app, on the blue app, and on this, I don't know if I'll call it the red app, but on these places. And that is what keeps us going, even though we have very busy life. I am very busy. You don't want to know how busy I am. I'm very busy. I wake up very early, I sleep very late, and my life is like, ooh, I almost have a hard time catching a breath. But I still thank God for the grace to run all these things: family, church responsibilities, home, growing children, elderly parents and in-laws, and all of that. And God has been helping each and every one of us. And I want to thank all our fellow podcasters today, Madam Deborah, who is very busy with her children. And her children are very busy. They have lots of engagements, running up and down, going for sports events and taking them here and there. And Mr. David, also very busy because he's busy,
Hmm?
busy, busy. Trust me, you don't want to hear what he's doing, but the man is busy. He's trying to catch more money and also self development by the side, okay? I want to thank every one of you and all other people who have come on this channel and the page and spending our time here, 1 hour here, spending our time talking to you. I pray that our effort is going to pay off with more marriages, happy marriages, joyful homes, more mature, developed men. The the men fellowship that has not really been happening so much in the church. We're bringing it out here, having men fellowship, on social media. And I hope that the men that want to learn and want to be better men are learning and becoming better men. Okay. So don't mind what we give you. Medicine, when you give a baby medication, is bitter. Okay, when you put it in his mouth, it's bitter. He doesn't want it. He wants to fight you. So, as a young chap, we give you this medicine. It's bitter, but it's to make you healthy, it's to heal you of all your ills and ailments and make you a better, sweet man. And the same goes to women. Every of these lashes that we're throwing out, this, hard talk, hard conversation is just to make you a better woman so that we can make this world a better place. And for those who are praying for the will of God to know who to marry, will of God in any area of their lives, I pray that the Lord will give you an answer of peace. So if you have not yet subscribed, now subscribe. Now. Do it. Subscribe, like, share, and let us see you in another video. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sticking out with us up until this time, and all those who are going to watch afterwards. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching after, please put your comment in the comment section. We want to know what you think. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend. For us here, we have a long weekend. So have a beautiful long weekend and happy Remembrance Day in advance, which is going to happen on Monday. Thank you so much. And see you next time. Ciao.
Uh,
Passy.
for me, I would like to encourage all young men that are making it and that have made it and are still lagging behind and being afraid of who to get married to. Number one, you need to understand that marriage, uh, the work of marriage is a work of faith. If you have any fears, love will always cast out fears. If you have fears when you're going into the relationship, then you should not force yourself into that marital relationship. When God is in it, you'll have peace. You'll always have peace. And don't waste your time because time waits for no one. Better you get married. There are so many lovely, as far as I'm concerned, I know that there are so many lovely Christian sisters that also have this fear of the are praying to God and do not want to miss it in their marriage, and they don't have any plan of going a divorce. All that is needed is cooperation. Be ready to cooperate and to work with that lady that you decided to go to act to be your wife, to work with her and to make your marriage work. And any preconceived, maybe you have from your family background that is having an effect on your choice of marriage, you should do away with all of that. Try to look around for better examples and try to emulate. Pick what is the best from those good examples. Even if you see a bad example, look at why did that marriage fail. Try to understand why did that marriage fail. Then avoid the pitfalls that made that marriage fail, and make sure that you determine in your heart when you're coming into the marriage, you tell this lady, I'm prepared, I'm ready. Hope you're also ready. I want this marriage to work. And when you're even coming to the family, you should be able to tell the family that, listen, I'm coming to your family. I want to marry your daughter. You have to, if you know any one of you is not fully with us in this marriage, let us know. Let's know. And I want your cooperation, because especially marriages in Africa. It's two families, and when there is a total problems, maybe the other family does not cooperate with you, the possibility that you fall into a trap is because when there is a little problem, you don't have anybody that can even call him up to say, what you have done is wrong or what you have not done is wrong. So try to get the the support of the other family. And I'm sure that when you're a high value, a man that brings it's not the value is not only your monetary. A high value man, you don't need to beg to marry. You will not need to beg to marry. A high value man will never need to be. And it's not about monetary. I'm not only talking about monetary, because if you are high value monetarily and you don't have the character, you're not high value. Okay, so high value in every ramification. You would not need to beg. And if the family, because we look at family, we should also look at family background. What kind of family is it from? When you look, what kind of uh, how did the mother behaves in her home? How did the father treat the mother? What was the example she had to follow? What was your own type of example? And then think about what you want to. And then time for courtship is a very important period in which you should discuss everything that you need to discuss. You must discuss without fear of either the person is going to continue the marriage or not. Let the person know what he is coming into, and he also should know what he's coming into. Not after you now start to say sorry, because there's some sorry that's too bitter to say after the marriage. So say any of your sorry before the marriage. Let the lady know what she's coming into. Let the man know what he's coming into. But there's no need for any young man to try. If you have done your homework well, when others were working, you did your homework well, there is no need to be afraid. There are a lot of Christian from very good Christian home that will have support you, that they will support you, the father, the mother, everybody wants the marriage to work. They will support you in that marriage, and they will make sure that marriage, they'll be able to even call their daughter up to say, listen, you have to behave like this with your wife, your husband, you have to behave like this with yours, they are not. So determined to get married. You're 31, you're 30, you're 33, you're 34, you're 35, you're not yet married. You're wasting your time. And time waste for no one. Time waits for no one. When you are looking for Mr. Right, Pastor W.F. Kumuyi, who is the general superintendent of the Deeper Life Bible Church, said in one of the shots, if you go watch on Deeper Life Bible Church singles, I was listening to it, he said that it's impossible for you to know any man. And that's the truth. You cannot know somebody totally. It's impossible. That even after 10 years of marriage, you keep knowing the person. So you will keep knowing the different facets. When there is money, you know the way the person behaves. When there is no money, you know the person. You will discover the person. But if you have made up your mind together that we are in this together, we love each other, we're going to cooperate. The children that we're going to bring to this world, we want to build them up. We want to provide for them. We want to take care of them. We want to show them good examples, no matter whatever is our misunderstanding. We will try to go somewhere, sit down, iron out our differences, and come back home and show our children that we are one, we are cooperating. And it's not a situation, it's not a work of just children are watching. So in marriage, it's not a work of only the mother. It's not the mother that should be running up and down. The man must do the job. Then you can train up children, the next generation of boys that will be good fathers and good husbands, because you are a good father, you are a good husband. So if you are wasting your time, you can never know anybody. And the truth is that if someone wants to get married and is not wanting to be totally truthful with you, that's why you need the help of the Holy Spirit. If you really pray, and the counsels of elders too. Sometimes some of your counselors, that's why you should not be entangled before you decide. You should be able to discuss with some people that have that have your interest at heart. And if they tell you that this person, I don't give you an assurance that this person is a good Christian, or why do you want to, and they are reticent, and you trust those people, listen to them so that you will not have to regret. Because many ladies or many men, many people that are in broken marriages today, they had some warnings of some people, but they did not heed they did not heed. You can't money with you can yes, you can't marry without money, even if the man is 40. Yes, I know you can't marry without money. Nobody marries without money, but it all depends on the type of money you want. The type of money you want. So you always get a woman that will be ready to settle with your type of money. That's the fact. You always, the only thing is that don't go for a one that is more than what you, because a woman that wants another level of money will not be happy to be with you.
Yeah.
There's no need. Don't try to convince her to be with you. She has a status quo. This is what she's looking at. Don't convince her. Don't try to convince her. You cannot keep convincing her throughout your whole life. Especially if you are a man, you don't have vision. You don't even know how you're going to, you are satisfied, you're contented with that thing. Please go for a woman like you, your type. Then you will live in peace. That thing, that peace you're talking about, that Mr. David is talking about, he will come back home. There are homes where they are living in only one room. The woman also is ready to welcome you and put your leg inside water. You know, you can get that. You can get that in your one home. But just don't go for a woman that is looking for a mansion. And you're still telling her that you're going to bring her into one home. Don't worry, it's going to be good. And then after 1 year, 2 years, it didn't become good. And never becomes good. Then she's not happy. So there's no need. If you know you don't have the capacity, mental capacity, go for somebody like you. Go for somebody like you. Then you'll be able to, every man has a woman that suits him. Like when you go to the market, you test, you see. I'm not talking about testing sexually now. You see, when you're talking, when you're interacting, you know if it's going to work or not. You will know. Then you go for that person. And you settle down on time. And don't stop wasting your time, my dear one. Stop wasting time. Time waits for no one. A child that was born 2024, by next year, November, it's going to be 1 year. So don't waste your time. And when you're looking for Mr. Right, be Mr. Right yourself. You're looking for Mrs. Right, be Mrs. Right yourself. Be Mr. Right yourself. Once you start thinking, when you start talking with the person, does not have the same values with you. You need to, sometimes you might even be in the same church. You don't share the same values. That you need to understand that. So many people are sitting in the same church with you. They don't share the same values like you. They don't believe that there is anything wrong, or they are of the opinion they can change. They can change. Alas, for you to discover after you have married that the person does not believe in total sanctification, but the person does not believe in divorce. The person believes that there is a possibility for divorce and remarriage, and you didn't know before. That you discuss. You need to discuss. What do you believe? Or maybe you are a guy, you really love a lady that does not put on all those things, all those makeup things. But she changed because she thought that she needed to grab you. But she just changed to enter. So that once she enter, she said, we're already married, you can't do anything about it. She just starts bringing out her things little by little. This year, she starts painting small. Next year, another painting. Then you just see that she's metamorphosing. You need to understand that also. You want to wear slacks? Do you want to wear trousers? Are you a lady? Do you love those ladies that wear trousers? You need to understand. If you don't deceive yourself, many guys are deceiving themselves. They are in our midst. They love those ladies that wear trousers. They love all those things. Okay, so you cannot be don't deceive yourself. Especially if you are going marriage, if you want to do marriage. Marriage is a lifetime thing. It's what you want to do halfway. And the truth is that all the marriages, all the divorces, the team breaks again. The team breaks again. So if you don't get it right the first time, then the possibility that you will not get it right, because you will marry another person for the wrong reasons again. The first time you marry for the wrong reasons, the second time you marry for the wrong reason. That's why I don't believe that a young man should not be able to know how to cook for himself, because you will go and be looking for somebody to come and cook for you. Then you will marry a woman because of cooking. You cannot iron your clothes. You cannot keep your environment clean. You're looking for somebody that will come and do it for you free of charge. Then when she realized that these things, she now start to tell you, they are listening, these things are services I'm giving you. They are paid for services. Then you now begin to complain. She's complaining when she's not a virtuous woman. She's not this, she's not that. She did not sign for it. You don't even know if she's from a home. You didn't even bother. Maybe she even told you that, listen, from my
Love
childhood
all
days.
things.
You said what?
Love conquers all things.
Love.
Oh
There
boy.
are practicalities of all these things. I know love conquers all things, but there are practicalities. If
You
you
see,
know that you are looking for,
important. Love and money. Money answers all things. Love conquers all things.
Mm.
love is not a feeling, love is not a feeling.
I didn't say love is a feeling. I said love conquers.
Love is not a feeling. Love is not a feeling, because if it's a feeling, God can never send his son Jesus to come and die for us. It's not a feeling.
That's why I said love conquers all things.
It's not a feeling, it's a commitment. So you need to, when you're talking about love, you need to understand whether you are ready to accept and commit to somebody like this kind of nature. And you cannot know somebody. That's just the truth. You cannot know the person A to Z. Even we ourselves, we discover ourselves. It's when things sometimes happen to us that we know that we can react like that. Sometimes we don't know how we will react until when an incident happens to us. So young men should stop wasting their time. Every man has a woman that, and if, for example, you can only start from one room, for me, I'm not on that opinion. I can't start from one room. But if you can stay, you want to start from one room and you get a woman that can start from one room with you, you can also start from one room and build your mansion. Yes, you can tell her we start from this room, but our plan is to build the mansion. She can cooperate with you and you build your mansion. So please stop wasting time. We want to hear marriage, this to this. We are in November 2024. Please, if you're there, you're already 31, you are 32, you're 33, you're 34, you're 35. Oh, no, 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 no. There are many young ladies you can get married to. There are young ladies, many. Pray, and God will lead you to one of them. The person that is meant for you. And understand that, like they say, there's no predestination of there's no predestination of person, there's predestination of purpose. So it is the person that's going to fulfill the purpose of God for your life. So if sister A says no, God can always give you sister B that will be even better than sister A. A lady will always be attracted to a better guy. Why should she be attracted to a better guy? I don't know ladies that there are ladies that have married guys that are not up to them now. So what are you talking about? It's not always.
I'm just trying to say that is it okay for her to be attracted to a better guy?
You see, always, but what is wrong with that?
Which is fine.
Everybody.
Generally, most sisters are like that.
It's not about it's not about generally or anything. There are ladies there are many people that have grown in their marriages to somebody that did not that was rejected by others,
A
and the
lot of
ladies
women
married
are
them.
hypergamous. A lot of women are hypergamous, so it's
The
fine.
ladies,
And
a lot of women, but it's not all. Many
all,
or
I said,
some, but it's not all. It's not all. Not all.
Majority.
Mhm. And if she now goes to marry you that is less or that's not better than her, and you now prove to her that she was a fool to have married you by your nature, by your behavior, by your character, how can you be zero? You don't have something in your pocket and you still have a bad character. How?
She's a zero.
Then she's a loser now. She'll be regretting all her life.
Okay. So,
So you need to think about that. Work on your character, work on your pocket. Women also need to have their own money too. I don't know. You don't if you because if you are a dependent, then you also fall in with the wrong person. Because you are a dependent, you are looking for where you're going to get food to eat, and someone that is going to clothe you, and someone that is going to take care of you. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for somebody to build life with. You're looking for the immediate for your immediate needs to be met. But
mhm.
it's easier to meet your immediate need as a single without anybody than trying to meet it with children. So it's easier. You can do a lot of things, build yourself up. So that's my own to all young men that are young and they're struggling. You're listening to whatever people are saying you are in the diaspora, you're listening to people, marriages are breaking. There are some marriages that are working, even in the diaspora. There are marriages that are working and that are working well. So look at the marriages that are working and working well. If you see anyone that have broken, ask questions. Why did it break? No, why did it break?
Yeah.
Then don't repeat the same thing. So that the other one will not see too. C'est simple que ça. You don't repeat the same thing. If you many of the people that I've listened to, that I've talked with, whether my friends, those that call themselves, those that are believers, unbelievers, whatever you call them, is either it's finance or infidelity.
Mhm.
The woman is tired of the infidelity of the man, and she goes out of the marriage. Or there's no money, or the guy is using he's not setting his priority right. He's using his money with and forgetting about his family. He doesn't prioritize his family. Then she decides to back out, or there are some other incompatibilities. But generally, it does not just break like that. Ask them the true reasons why it broke, and then avoid it. It's very simple as that. Avoid it. Avoid it. Avoid it. And the thing is that is the problems that are the problems, they are not changing. They have been they are, if you look at it very well, they are the same in a long time ago. Okay. Have a wonderful night rest. I'm going to sleep too. Goodbye. And then come
All
back to
right.
tell us of your marriage. We're ready to see you get married, to celebrate with you. So get married. I'm going to talk to older ladies too, to stop being afraid and get married too. Okay, so have a wonderful night rest. Bonjour, bonne journée à vous. Et aujourd'hui, c'est mon anniversaire. Donc, ben oui, c'est pas encore aujourd'hui, ah oui. C'est
Bon
21h,
anniversaire.
23h30. It's still yet, it's not yet midnight. I would have said it's not going to be my birthday. So, but it's not yet my birthday, so no problem. Have a
Oh,
wonderful night rest.
Yeah, I'm ready to go out. So
all right.
Okay,
All right, guys.
bye.
thank
Yes.
you.
On to the
Thank you,
next
guys.
one. Thank you.
Yes.
Right.
Guys.
Bye.